In less than a week, Canada is set to become the second nation in the world to fully legalize recreational marijuana. The laws similar to what we have right here in Washington State.
That's right. There are still a lot of questions about how Canada is going to deal with this big new change. And to help us sort through all this morning, we're joined again by Brandon Lee, Consul General to Canada in Seattle. Thanks again for joining us this morning, Brandon. Appreciate it. So what's going to happen? October 17th, Wednesday next week, the switch is flipped. It's legal in Canada, nationwide. What are we going to see?
Absolutely. So next Wednesday, we are going to legalize in all of Canada for recreational use. We're really looking forward to this because we think that this will help public safety and public health within Canada. Everything we've tried for the past century hasn't worked for youth usage. The access and use has been very high.
And how do you think it will help? In what way specifically?
So because it will be government distributed and government run, we think that we'll be able to close out the black market and keep it out of the hands of illicit crime. And also because it will be regulated closely, the prices and access to both government run and private stores will allow us to monitor the age of use.
Now, it's not as if all of a sudden on Thursday, the pot shops are going to be open all over the place. What's it going to look like? From what I understand, just one store is going to open. Why is that?
Well, one store in British Columbia, because we're taking a very gradual, phased-in approach. We know that being only the second country in the world to legalize as a nation, we want to do it right, and we want to make sure provinces, municipalities take it at their own speed. So we've left it to provinces to go at their own speed. And British Columbia will have one store, but we'll also have online sales in British Columbia opening up.
That's a big difference.
Interesting.
Which is different.
Yeah.
And each province will have different age requirements depending on what the drinking age is, correct?
Absolutely. Well, nationwide, our minimum is 18 years old as a minimum, but then we've allowed provinces to increase the restriction as they like, and we are seeing a lot of the provinces align them closer to the drinking age.
So the big question, too, I think a lot of people are asking is the border. Right. It's legal in Washington State, legal in British Columbia. It's actually a lower age, 19 in British Columbia, 21 here. What can you tell us about that, the crossing?
So that's a great question. And our motto, our mantra on this is don't cross with cannabis. So although Canada, it will be legal, and it's legal here in Washington State, it's still illegal to cross either north or south across the international border. So as far as our border patrol, border security are concerned, nothing's changing actually. It was illegal and it's still illegal to cross.
I immediately think of Western Washington University and schools and students who are right close to the border.
Absolutely.
I used to go there. We used to cross into Canada to party.
Right. You might
so I mean, that would be a concern of parents who have students because of the border issue. Right,
but they'll get you. No pot across the border.
Right? Do not cross with cannabis because the enforcement can be very strict. So Canadians or even third country nationals going to Western Washington University may be banned for life from returning into the U.S.
Okay. Well, a lot to get to. Yeah, we'll post some more online. Brandon Lee, Consul General to Canada, right here in the studio. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much,
Brandon.
So interesting.